Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelli Tries. We are talking about I Am Kelphaba, my brand new book released on Amazon. You guys can grab your own copy at the link in my bio. We're going to take a little bit of a derailment today. We're going to hop on the Emerald City train, and I'm going to talk about my reviews of the first Wicked movie. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Wicked for Good is officially out. I have tickets to go see it tonight. This is me before I've seen the movie. So far, I'm doing okay. I cannot wait to tell you what I think of the movie tomorrow in the video that I release that gives you my review of Wicked for Good. There will be spoilers in this video and the next video. But oh my goodness. And if you know me personally, you know and have probably been annoyed by me for the last at least 1 year, as Wicked has become my entire personality. So much so, I released a book where I call myself Kelphaba. Is that ridiculous? A little bit, but oh my goodness, I love it so much. I've loved Wicked since it came out in 2003. Loved the soundtrack, grew up loving musical theater, and was just immediately attached to Wicked. Love Idina Menzel. Love Kristen Chenoweth. Those girls are my OGs. And so when they announced that they were releasing a movie version of the Wicked musical in 2024, I wasn't sure how I felt. Like I said, Idina and Kristen, those are my girls. Those are my originals. I thought, man, are you going to CG this thing? Are you going to mess this up? Who are you going to cast? I was really concerned. Then they released who they were casting. And at the time, I thought Ariana Grande is a pop star. I was a little unsure of what she was going to do with the character, but I also knew she had a background in musical theater. And so I'm like, she might do great. I'd seen Cynthia Erivo perform. I knew she had the chops to sing those songs and belt them out. But I'm like, could she pull off Elphaba? Like, let's see. Then, heard about Ethan Slater, aka SpongeBob, playing Bach, and then heard that Jeff Goldblum is playing the wizard, which that man can do no wrong in my eyes. Jeff Goldblum is the only person, and for sure the only man, that my husband and I are mutually in love with. That man is so perfect. I want to spend a day with him. I want to take him to lunch. I want to enjoy his company over a cup of coffee. My goodness, he is so positive and wonderful and sweet. I love Jeff Goldblum. So I thought, he's going to be in the movie. It's going to be great. So I was definitely open-minded, definitely excited, and definitely thought, I'm going to see it. Then I remember the first trailer dropped. I was gobsmacked. At that moment, my mind opened even more. I thought, okay, this trailer is gorgeous. I cried in the trailer. It was beautiful. I think the first trailer did have Cynthia singing The Wizard and I, and I was like, oh my goodness, it looked gorgeous. It looked like the girls in their costumes. It looked fantastic. Saw lots of behind the scenes stuff. And so I was definitely excited. I thought, okay, like, I'm down to see this movie. I'm ready for it. And so, I just kind of started revisiting my roots. I remember going back and listening to the original soundtrack a lot more, really getting back into just the essence and the world of Wicked, a world that I love. Really started introducing it to my kids, singing it a lot more at home. Sorry to my husband, who has heard that soundtrack so many times. In college, I got to do this little theater workshop where I actually got to perform Popular with one of my classmates. I was Glinda. I wasn't Elphaba. That was like my final piece. And we got to perform it in the theater on the stage at my university. And I remember the teacher came up and he was like, have you considered pursuing musical theater? I'm like, yes, that is all I do every single day in my head. I've always loved and felt a deep connection to Wicked, specifically the character of Elphaba. Again, I don't think that's unique to me, but love Elphaba and just her story arc. So as the movie got closer and closer, I was, anticipating it more and more. I started thinking about, what am I going to be for Halloween? Before Halloween, I remember my husband and our dear closest best friend surprised me and took me to see Idina Menzel perform live. Oh my goodness, it was incredible. I remember we turned the corner in the venue and I saw her name up on the marquee and I was just floored. She did incredible, and at the end she sang Defying Gravity. I cried multiple times throughout the performance. in the show, but I got to see my original girl sing Defying Gravity, which felt like a bucket list moment for me. It was an incredible experience. So then, yeah, we get closer to Halloween. I love Halloween. I love dressing up. I love making costumes. And you should know, I am not like a let's buy a costume off the shelf girl. I want to build it from scratch. I'm a DIY girl. Even if I buy some pieces from Amazon, I'm going to do something to zhuzh them up and make them unique and original. So I thought, man, this movie's coming out. This is the year. Like, I got to go as Elphaba. So I started watching a bunch of behind the scenes videos and reading articles about what products they use on Broadway to do Elphaba's makeup and the best technique to apply all of the makeup. And so I bought everything online on Mac and everything like that. I did a couple trial runs. I found this great video on YouTube of one of the makeup artists who does the makeup for Elphaba in the stage show. And so I watched his tutorial, which was fantastic. And that's what I used to do my makeup. I did a trial run. It went really well. And so I thought, okay, I got this. Like, I can do this. I found some pieces, again, like I zhuzhed them up. I added lace details and things like that. I made my own broom from this large stick I found in my backyard, and I bought a broom online and took off the bristles and I glued it to the stick and then tied it around with twine. So everything was from scratch. And so Halloween morning, I woke up. It was a work day. One of my favorite things to do when I was working in an office was when I got to dress up on Halloween and it was work day. It's my favorite thing in the world. I've done a pink Power Ranger. Again, my mom and I made that costume from scratch. I got to wear that to work. I did 11 from Stranger Things. My husband dressed up as Hopper from Stranger Things, went to work like that. I did Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. I showed up to work in like the huge purple feather and like the eye makeup and everything. It was so much fun. I loved it. And so Halloween landed on a work day. And so I woke up at like 5 a.m. because I wanted to make sure I had time to do my makeup. And so I'm following my tutorial. I'm using all my products. I do the green thing. I put my dress on, I put my wig on, and then I stood in front of the mirror and I put the hat on as like my final touch, and I lost it. I was like, I am Elphaba. I have dreamed of this moment, and I'm never going to do this on stage. I'm never going to do this on Broadway, but like right now in my small little world, I get to be Elphaba. So I showed up to work that day. Everyone was just like, oh my goodness, took a bunch of pictures. Nobody could take me seriously in any of the meetings that I was in, but it was so fun. We got a huge group of people together to go see the movie. And I remember thinking, okay, I need to strategically sit by the people that will understand what this experience means to me. I can't sit by anybody that's going to chit chat. I can't sit by anybody that's going to make comments. I need to sit by the people that understand the weight of this moment. We get settled into the movie. It opens and you hear Glinda's voiceover, and she's basically retelling the moment of Dorothy throwing the water on the witch, and it's this slow pan. You see the puddle of water, slow pan to Elphaba's hat, and then the monkeys burst through the window, the music starts, and I was already crying. I was like, oh my goodness, we are off to a great start. Like, this is incredible. And immediately I just thought, like, man, Cynthia and Ariana, like, amazing job. Like, loved their acting choices. I specifically remember thinking Cynthia's face, just the roundness of it and the sweetness of it, was like so perfect. And especially in the subtleties of her acting choices as Elphaba's, growing to like learn who she is and where her place is. Like, she just, oh my goodness. And what you get in a movie that you don't get in a stage show is you get those close-ups. You get those subtleties and those acting decisions. And I think it just brought just these incredible layers to the storytelling. And the other thing in a movie is you have more time. They took, 2 hours and 40 minutes to take these moments that you see in the show. But again, you have the close-ups of the characters, but then you also get to like spread these moments out. So specifically, I think the Ozdust ball scene, where Elphaba comes in, she starts doing her dance moves, and Glinda realizes, oh, this is my fault. Glinda starts dancing with her, places her hand on her cheek, and Elphaba cries. Whew! I don't think there was a dry eye in the theater for sure, but like that moment, you just don't get that in the stage version as much. They all did a great job of paying homage to the original, but brought these little unique subtleties that just made sense. And so The Wizard and I, like, Cynthia's choices there, like, it was such an incredible rendition of that song. Popular was so sweet. The moment, the whole like pink goes well with green. Oh, Miss Elphaba, like, you're beautiful. Again, like, you get these close-ups and you get to really linger in that moment with the characters. Ariana, just physically, the comedy was so funny. The costumes were incredible. The sets were incredible. very minimal CG done in that movie, so much practicality in the sets and everything. You could just tell there was so much love and dedication put into that film. Like Dancing Through Life, like, oh my goodness, absolutely incredible. And if you haven't watched any behind the scenes of how they filmed that scene, you have to. Like, it's so, so good. And of course, Jeff Goldblum, he shows up on screen. And again, that man does no wrong. He was the absolute perfect wizard. You can agree or disagree. He was perfect in that role and did nothing wrong in that role. And I stand by that. And Defying Gravity, that took me out. Were you not weeping? I was absolutely weeping. The part that still gets me, it's in the middle of the song, and the soldiers come in and they're, taking Glinda, and Elphaba's like, she did nothing wrong. I'm the one you want. It's me. It's me. There's such power and like conviction in Cynthia's acting, and the slow motion sweep of her cape and her dress, just so gorgeous. I could go on and on and on, but this would be like a 5-part series, which it could be. I don't know. Anyways, I loved the movie. The movie was so, so good. I went back again and saw it in theaters second time. And then in 2024, they did the sing-alongs, which I thought, you announce it, I bought tickets immediately. Take my money. For the movie, I did not dress up in my costume. My daughter wanted to dress up as Elphaba, so I gave her that moment. So for the movie, she went in green paint and she got to be Elphaba. And I took a step back and I let her have her moment, which was fantastic. But the sing-along, I knew, like, I gotta go as Elphaba. This is my moment. And I knew in my head, I had a whole plan. When Defying Gravity comes on, that's my moment. I will never be Elphaba on stage. I will never be Elphaba on Broadway. I will never be Elphaba off Broadway. But in this Southern California movie theater sing-along version of Wicked, I will take the stage. So I put my costume on, did my makeup, went green, blah, blah, blah. My plan was to stand up during Defying Gravity and run around the movie theater so that like my cape and my dress would float in the wind, and I would have my broom, and at the end of the song I would have this power stance. I was going to climb on a wall or something. Like, I had a whole situation planned out. So Defying Gravity comes on. I can feel it in my like stomach. My heart's pounding. I'm like, this is my moment. So I stand up at the beginning of the song, and I'm acting at my seat. There's actually this moment where my husband and our friend are like flapping my cape so it looks like it's flying in the wind. And we get to the part after the it's me moment, and then she's like, so if you can't find me. So that was the chance. I thought, this is where I run. This is where I fly. So I take off down the aisle towards the stairs. And like where we're sitting in the theater, there's like a flight of stairs that goes down to like the lower platform of the theater. And I thought, that'll be my stage. So I run to the end of the aisle. I start down the stairs. I'm not even kidding you. I fell. And immediately I was in so much pain. But I thought, the show must go on. I am in character. My hat had fallen off. I think my cape had fallen off. And my leg was in so much pain. So you can see me in this video. I pop up, I run down, I'm like grabbing my stuff, and I run across that like center section of the theater, and I go around to the side, kind of where the exit is, and I kind of hide behind the wall for a second, and I'm there by myself, and I'm like catching my breath, and the song's going, and I'm like, I don't want to miss like the moment. So I'm like, okay, Kelli, you're in a lot of pain. Put your hat back on, get your cape back on, and get back out there. My leg is like throbbing. I can't look at it. It's dark. I don't know what's going on. I get my hat back on, and again, I'm sweating. My heart is pounding. I can't get my cape on. But I'm like, the song's not stopping. Nobody's pausing this movie for me. Like, I've got to go. So I kind of like held my cape, and I held my hat, and I run back out for this final moment. And I'm running around the theater. I get back up to my seat. It's like the final, like, yeah, like final moment. Everyone's singing blah, blah, blah. We wrap it up. Everyone cheering in the theater. And so we exit the theater. Lift up my dress to look and see what has happened. It's my right leg. It's my shin. And you can see it's bloody and it is destroyed. I'm like limping back to the car. I get back to the house. I take off my tights, and my leg, like this much of my shin, has been destroyed. The whole thing got bruised. It was really, really bad. And it took a long time for it to heal. And I say heal because it is now almost a year later. I still have a scar on my leg. And I think I did something to my shin bone. There's a little bit of a divot. And there's one spot in particular that if you press on it, it doesn't feel very good. So I did, I think, some very permanent damage to my leg that day. But it is this beautiful and ridiculous reminder of 2024 and just the incredible beauty of that year. And so I wear it with pride. I receive and accept that injury as a mark and a memory of my life. I love Wicked so much. I'm so excited for this next movie. I have high expectations and high hopes, and whatever it is that they have created, I believe it's going to be wonderful. Idina and Kristen are still my OGs, but man, Cynthia and Ariana, Jeff, Ethan, Jonathan, you guys have done an incredible job with this movie, and I'm so excited to see it tonight. I will be in costume tonight for the movie. I'm not going to reveal what I will be dressed as until tomorrow. So thanks so much. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the first movie, what you're thinking about the second movie. If you guys have any questions, let's talk Wicked. Thanks so much for hanging out. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the videos. After tomorrow's review, we will get back on track and continue going chapter by chapter through my new book, I Am Kelphaba. Again, you can grab that on Amazon or at the link in my bio. All right, you guys. Thank goodness. Defy gravity for good. There are bridges you cross you didn't know you crossed until you crossed. Am I right? All right. See you later.